because Jake Paul is kind of a role model. Okay, pause. So fun story. When I said that, I meant it like super literally. Like a lot of people view Jake Paul as like something to be, right? Like his name is almost a job title at this point. But I wanna like actually talk about my role models because Jake Paul is not one of my role models. He's I guess an idol in a way, but like not a good one, you know. Uh, like Louis C.K. Funny guy, don't like him. So let's talk about role models that I do actually model myself after. So I just spent 14 minutes taking screenshots of Googles of the first people that came to mind of like actual role models, like people who I would like to be like. Um, Before I start this list, uh, I should I should say I'm a white male. Please don't get mad at me for basing my role off other white males, right? Role model, like my role in society that I'm modeling it after this person, right? Role model, that's how this works. It'd be really weird if I said like, I don't know, uh, Malcolm X, because um, like he was a cool guy. Don't get me wrong. I don't know if I can be like him. So we're just like not even gonna try. We're gonna start set the bar where it needs to be, and then work your way up to the Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's. You know. Now Martin Luther King, I feel like totally could be a role model. I didn't put him on this list because I didn't think of him. You know, he's. I feel like I put people who were inspired by him on this list. Anyway, we're just gonna let's just do it. You know. This is in the order that I googled them, so this is completely whatever. First screenshot, Andy Samberg. He's funny. He knows uh, that he is looked up to, and so he made himself relatable, I guess, and also like I don't know. I just see him as like another dude. If I could have like lunch with Andy Samberg, I feel like it'd be pretty fun. It wouldn't be like it'd be a little interviewee, sure, but I hope it's like a two-way interview. There's a dialogue. I hope it's just a dialogue. Uh, After Andy Samberg, we have Amy Poehler. Now, Amy Poehler is hilarious, really nice, and I feel like she's a lot like Leslie Knope, that character she played in Parks and Rec, who just really cares about everyone that's around her. So, because of that, Amy Poehler is like something I want to be like, someone I want to be like. After I googled Amy Poehler, I was just like on the train thought of comedians, and I thought about Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle is a no nonsense kind of guy, the kind of guy that I want to be. He also gets paid to stand up on stage talking about his thoughts. That sounds like the dream job. But Dave Chappelle's more than just a comedian. He's kind of an activist, but what he stands for is just what I think is common sense. And so Dave Chappelle says a lot of the things that I agree with, but he gets to say them because he's an African American. Next was Jimmy Fallon. There's a lot of SNL people to start with. And I think that's because SNL doesn't care. If you have an opinion on SNL and you can make it funny, they're going to air it. So, Jimmy Fallon, he has been on was on SNL so long ago before I even started watching SNL, and he made his way up to Jay Leno's job. Is Jay Leno a role model? Kinda. He was a guy with hobbies, which is like cool. But Jimmy Fallon is a guy who's just trying to spread joy through the world, which like A1, ugh, burping. After Jimmy Fallon, Gordon Ramsay, because I thought there's got to be someone other than a comedian I want to be like. And Gordon Ramsay is an expert in cooking, but he also has a decent family life to like model after, and he knows when to ask for help. He understands there are like certain things he can't judge, and so he calls people in who can judge it. And I think knowing when you're not the smartest person in the room is in like asking for a new smartest person is like really smart. And so Gordon Ramsay is on there. But then after Gordon, I was just derailing and I took a sharp left turn to Snoop Dogg. They are Snoop Dogg and Gordon Ramsay, I feel like are very different people, but they will get along because it's hard to have beef with Snoop Dogg. And I want it to be hard to have beef with me. That sounds amazing because who I haven't done anything to start beef. I don't think I'm gonna do anything to start beef. And if you're just like over it, like I am, you're like Snoop Dogg, right? He did his time getting hard, but then he decided that that wasn't what you want. So he became Drop It Like It's Hot. And does, I don't know, he gives me Bob Marley vibes. And I really enjoy that. Next, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, back in the comedians. Never on SNL though. He only did stand up for the longest time. His newest special about Corona is hilarious. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. But Kevin Hart uh, shares a lot of my opinions. Oh, I share a lot of his opinions. I don't know. How do opinions work? I guess since he said his louder, they're his opinions. So I agree with them. But I still think they're my opinions. So, yeah. Then Kevin Hart's best friend in the movies, his giant that protects him, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's such a kind guy. And he got to voice a Disney character, and he is a family man who keeps himself in shape and, like, tries his best, even though he knows he, like, isn't the voice of the people, you know? Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that made sense. What do what does Dwayne the Rock Johnson have that no one else on this list have? Um, he was a wrestler, but like for show. But also, I'm pretty sure he it. Oh, Dwayne the Rock Johnson is peaceful, not a non-threat. Dwayne the Rock Johnson could hurt anyone, chooses not to hurt everyone. So because of that, role model. Philip DeFranco. He is YouTube's news person. If you haven't heard of him, okay, go look him up. He does news Monday through Thursday and keeps it pretty factual. He doesn't let like stories twist themselves. He waits till all the facts are out before he reports on something. And waiting until it's like ready, really admirable. And if you've seen any of his videos, he's blatantly honest. He will give you facts and then his opinion, which everyone should be doing. That's how opinions should be formed. They should be based off facts, not what you think, you know? Which brings me to Eminem, who is scary. He I, I don't have words for Eminem because he says all of them. He's said them all in every order. He is so smart. He's talented, and he came through, like came up from a struggle that I just can't relate to. But where he's at now is rich, but living like he's poor to a point. He still has a Nordic track, which is like uh, a treadmill or a bike, I don't know, some cardio equipment that cost thousands of dollars. But that's just because he can't run outside anymore because he's too famous, I'm pretty sure. So Eminem is role model solely because he isn't living to. He's not like flexing his dollars, and I don't want to flex dollars when I get them. So if I get them, if moving on to Lil Dicky, or his name is Dave Bird, uh, but he's Jewish. He's a white guy who's just trying his best. He's uh, really talented, but it took him a while to realize he had talent. He could have been selling stocks to everyone on Wall Street, but he decided that that wasn't fun and that wasn't for him. And because he has that TV show out and is like branching out into so many different areas of success, I idol him, or I want to model my role after him because he's doing like pretty good stuff with it. Next, Chris Evans, who you might know as Captain America, but the old one who died now. Uh, he realized he had a high stature and decided to do something with it. He started a charity or like a phone company or something. I don't know. I follow it on Twitter. I really don't know what it is. I just follow it because it's him. But uh, Chris Evans is generic nice guy who preaches about mental health and like the stress involved with being in Hollywood, and that is cool. Honesty is always cool. Bring it to Chris Pratt, who is a nice conservative. They exist. We exist. I don't. I mean, I would still say I'm moderate. I'm not entirely conservative because I just really like making people like think about the other side. Uh, where Eileen is always somewhere in the middle, and Chris Pratt took his stance, and even if he got hate for it, his he doesn't matter because Trump lost. But if Trump would have won, I don't. I feel like Chris Pratt might have gotten canceled. And just to have the courage to say your opinion, even when you know all your fans won't agree with it, is amazing. Brings me to Chris Tucker. No, not me. This guy, the guy from Rush Hour. He got a lot of money. He didn't do a lot with it. He lost a lot of it. Got into legal trouble, I'm pretty sure. And now he like found Christ again. And he's just like praying a lot, which is cool. So I don't know if he's like done anything recently after like Rush Hour 3. Is there a third one? I haven't seen any of the Rush Hours. I need to go watch them. But Chris Tucker is a funny guy who prays, and I think that's pretty cool. Jack Black is the next comedian that I model myself after. Why are they all comedians? Jack Black. Uh, I I think my first memory of Jack Black was School of Rock. You might have seen that movie. It's pretty cool. Randy Cosgrove's in it, but she's just happy to be there. Jack Black, though, he stands for seriousness in uh, silly times and silliness in serious times. He like is always trying to keep that balance. If you've seen Jablinski Games, his gaming channel, it's about as interesting as this. It's just completely random stuff that he just feels like doing, and I think that's pretty cool. But he can do it because he's Jack Black. It's not. This probably shouldn't start like this, but here we are. Next brings me to Steve Irwin. He was the nice guy of nature. He could see an animal and know if it was in danger, if it thought it was in danger, or if it was peaceful enough to approach and like pet. And honestly, knowing when you can pet an animal is like a big, big plus that I am trying to get to. I can pet cats and dogs, they're so easy. Petting a bird is like a little hard depending on the bird. Petting a fish doesn't make any sense. But if I ever see like a deer outside that's just like chilling, I want to go pet it. I want to pet raccoons. And I feel like Steve Irwin knows which raccoons you can and can't pet. Which bring transition words. Robin Williams, uh, Genie from Aladdin. He was. That's what I know him from. But also looking at his quotes, watching his movies, and like seeing his TV show. Honestly, well, I guess his TV shows. You get a good sense of who he was as a person, and he was like a really nice person who just tried to make people laugh when it wasn't like easy, and that's super admirable. Next, Tina Fey. She has strong opinions, and she says them and doesn't really care what happens with what she says. Uh, the only reason she's on this list, honestly, is because she did a great Sarah Palin impression. And while not offending Sarah Palin was like honored to be made fun of by Tina Fey. And I want to make fun of someone so well that that person contacts me and says, "Hey, you did a great job. Do you want to talk about it?" That sounds amazing. Next, Jenna Marbles. She's a YouTuber. Uh, I know her from her drunk makeup tutorial, but I've been watching ever since that video came out. She's hilarious. She used to put out new videos every Wednesday, but stopped because she was problematic. And she knew she was problematic after the fact. So I'm trying to get to that level of self awareness now so I don't have to cancel myself in the future. Where are we at? Betty White. Still not dead yet. She's hilarious. She's kept her fame without getting canceled somehow. And she's just like so sweet. But also, if you do something against Betty White, everyone's against you. She has absolutely no need for beef, except like literally because she should probably eat more because she's old. I'm out of breath. Betty White is a role model because of her kindness. And, well, quite frankly, she's older than sliced bread. So, like, just living that long is admirable. I would have not tried to do that. How old is she? She's 98 right now. So, fingers crossed she makes it to like 120 or something. Next, Alex Trebek. He made me feel stupid, but he made me feel like it was okay to be stupid. Because he just gave me the answer, and then that was new information that I could like grow with. Alex Trebek is no longer with us because of cancer, but that just happens. Sometimes it's not great. Jeopardy's gonna need a new host, but no one could ever do it like Alex Trebek. Was he a nice person? I don't know, maybe, but he was like he acted really smart, and people thought he was smart, and I strive for that. Brings me to Adam Sandler, who is a gem of the 90s who just keeps trying to grow, but he's not like trying to make money for himself. He's making funny for his unsuccessful friends, which I think is amazing. I want all my friends to have money too, especially if it's part of my money. That sounds really cool. Is Adam Sandler nice? Yes and no, which is a nice line to walk. I don't know how to. I mean, I do know how to not be nice, but like, I don't know when to choose to not be nice. I'm pretty sure a lot of the times you don't need to be mean, but sometimes you just gotta be an asshole. Next, Ellen DeGeneres. Is Ellen a good person? That's up for debate right now. But at the end of every Ellen show that's been aired for the last so many, I don't even know, years, like 12 maybe, she says, be kind to one another. Which, honestly, amazing. Why don't more people say that? It doesn't make any sense. Everyone on this list is like nice-ish in their own way, right? Next on this list is Shia LaBeouf, who um, took a lot of heat, kind of went crazy, but is bouncing back. So, I mean, to go from Even Stevens to Transformers to whatever he did on Hot Ones is amazing. Shia LaBeouf is just a good way to not get bored, you know? And I think the biggest, like, role model part of him is that whole just do it meme. You know the one? Yeah, I'm not even gonna play it because it's so old. Uh, that he was number 24. I counted my screenshots at this point and goes, I'm missing something really important. Who who on this list, what from this list is missing of my character? And while I wanted to put Jesus, I didn't because Jesus is, yes, a role model, but also I'm not trying to die at 33. So instead, I put Pope Francis. He's the current pope, and just because he's the current pope isn't why I put him on this list. I put him on this list because he's actually a really good pope. He reminds me a lot of John Paul II. If you know who John Paul II is, cool. If you don't, he was like 3 popes ago, and I think it went JP2, Benedict XVI, and then Francis. And Benedict stepped down, which is like wild. He's a role model in his own way of knowing when you're in over your head. But Pope Francis has done so many good things and called out so many people in the church. I think it's amazing. When you have a position of power, you need to use it. Okay, he was number 25. I thought that was enough for a whole video. I'm gonna go edit this now. Uh, oh, I leave for Colorado on Friday. So, videos next week, some will be in Colorado. Friday's video might be in a car. Just how it's gonna be. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, ring that bell. Bye.